Is there an intro? Hi, everybody.
Is it going? Are we?
I think we're live. Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
wow.
Welcome
Weird.
to another Astrology Live. I was just pulling up my notes to kind of go through, but I was waiting for the
Here
intro
we are.
music and I'm working down. I'm like, I'm not hearing intro music.
And the best part is like I have like all these different notes, like make this, and astrology is the note for the new intro. So I removed the old and out. It's fine. We're here.
We're here. We're here. Happy Friday,
The meat and
everybody.
potatoes. We made it to Friday.
It's the end of the
We made it
month.
to Friday, and we're moving into some of the craziest astrology energy ever. And
Oh,
we're still here.
and it's Gemini season. And who doesn't love Gemini season? Like the fun, the flow, it's warm outside, your skirts are a little shorter, your shirts are a little tighter, hopefully. And it's springy summer, and who doesn't love a Gemini? I love a Gemini. I have a few Geminis that I love.
I think it definitely depends who you ask for sure and what the Gemini is. And so you have to like love the Gemini, but you have to love both sides of the Gemini. And that is the
Yeah.
key moment that some people fall in love with, like yes, daytime Gemini, cool. Nighttime Gemini, no, cool.
Sorry. I'm I you all know I live in the country, so I hear things and I'm like, oh, that coyote's back, but it's too early for him to be back. So I realized how light it was outside. Sorry, I totally derailed. Um, no, I definitely I think the majority rule for Gemini is no thanks. But I personally love a Gemini. All
They're
right,
never
guys.
boring.
Never. No, it's never. It's always a good time, and they're so quick-witted and just, I like the intellect and the charm that comes with the Gemini
Yeah.
personality. So,
Yeah. There's
unless
usually some
you're a
depth in the
Gemini,
conversation.
yeah, the Gemini with the Scorpio moon, that one's a nice combo. It's a little creepy, but as her mother, I really enjoy her way of thinking and her little dark twist to her light Gemini. It's kind of entertaining, to be honest. So,
That's cute.
it's a
That's
good
very
time.
cute. Very cute. Well, today
So,
we are talking about the nervous system, emotions, and the body, which is an interesting theme because we are also doing our root chakra challenge actively. And we're talking about mind, body, spirit in the root and what it does it mean to feel safe in your body. And a
mm,
lot of people, well, a lot of in the majority of the people participating, there has been the feedback of kind of like, what does it feel to like drop into your physical body for the first time? Of we, especially Geminis, I think there's such a dissociation from the mind and the spirit in the body.
absolutely.
They have that two spirit energy,
Hmm.
and because they're also that air sign dissociation, like they're definitely lying halfway here, halfway there, which is what makes it interesting and fun. But also going into the nervous system, there's a lack of like awareness of how little we're actually in our bodies.
Yeah.
Like we think about it and we're like, okay, what does the breath feel like? When's the last time you like tasted your food and thought about it? There
Yeah.
there was like some cultures where they talk about where you had to like chew your food a certain amount of times before you were allowed to swallow it, like etiquette or something. It's like that's like 72 times more than we do.
Like that's absurd. Well, and even
Absurd.
just the process of eating, like we take it in as just like a rushed thing, like we don't sit with our food or anything, like you said with the body, like we're not really diving in into feeling. It's more of like we just think there's so much going on in the brain, which in my opinion, going back to Gemini, it's ruled by Mercury. And so all things Mercury really present and just more thoughts and thinking than feeling. And I'm going to dive into all of that. But I think that even just the food, like you were saying, it's like we don't even take the time to think like this tastes. I do. I personally do. I'm a Taurus moon, so that doesn't pass me. But
The connection to
I, oh God, it's amazing. But, I I think I'm on this like Buddhist train right now where I'm really practicing like these Buddhist beliefs and just the breath work and the meditation. So I'm really tapped into that right now. But there was a time when I first started doing that, and I'm like, I don't know the last time I just sat there and took 3 deep breaths. And I'm like, how? I know better. But it's still like, if
I
you're not
know, right?
consciously thinking about it, you'll go months and you'll be like, if you dive into a yoga class and you're just like, why don't I do this more? It feels so good. So,
It's crazy. The routine is like such a beautiful part of wherever it is that we're going with life and society. A routine
hmm
is a steady thing that we can control that can make the biggest difference for your day. And so it's something I've been like consciously working on. I've always kind of been like, oh, I'm a flight attendant, go loosey goosey with wherever. When I wake up is when I'm supposed to be. But now that I'm in a different university, it's kind of like forcing me to like have these frameworks and routine. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, there's benefits here. I get it.
are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying a routine?
Yeah, it's I'm
Oddly.
struggling. I'm struggling a lot with it because I noticed and it's so glaringly obvious now of when I do my first meditation, my whole day is great. But if I miss my second meditation by like 7 p.m., I usually don't do it. It's just how it is. And my sleep is off. I wake up weird, like it throws the whole thing off. And I'm
Yeah.
starting to notice that even more now with like little routines that I've like been implementing around my meditation. So I don't know, it's different. It's hard,
Yeah.
but
No,
the benefits are like too good to like stop.
I love a routine. I love the way it makes me feel. It's consistent. Again, I have a Taurus moon, and so that is very much what keeps my nervous system at ease is the fact that I know a little bit of what's going to happen throughout my day and just having these consistent routines.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that benefits a Libra moon too in a way, just because, that Libra likes the balance and the not necessarily people pleasing, but just that balance of knowing, okay, this is gonna go this way or that way. But you're also not too phased
Yeah.
by something that goes sideways because Libras are chilling. But
Yeah, I feel like
you're
you're
kind
in the healthy routine part of it. I've definitely been in
yes,
unhealthy routine patterns before, so this feels nice. I don't know.
that feels nice. Well, I actually love that for you. I think that's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to touch on a few things that to first even recognize when your nervous system is not aligned, or if your nervous system is not, or is maybe overloaded or whatever. Because these are things that some people don't really even think about. And I'm trying to learn and teach myself how to identify when my body is feeling. I know mine goes straight mental. It's all my air placements that I have going on, but it also like can be like tight in my chest, racing thoughts. A lot of times, especially with cancers, Virgos, there's a lot of times stomach issues. Some people withdraw. Some people tend to get very irritable. It causes exhaustion, especially if you're constantly overthinking. If your nervous system isn't, calm and grounded, you will go in these spirals of overthinking, and that in itself is exhausting. Um, One of the things on this list said crying. I personally think crying is the best thing for your nervous system. It is regulating you, it is a release. Anytime it rains, and it rains a lot in Oklahoma, I always like think like, oh, the earth is like releasing and, letting, breathing, and it's just such a beautiful thing. But and then another thing that I put in my notes here is like hyperactivity. A lot of times when my nervous system and I'm feeling anxious, I'll take on like 7 different projects. I'm like, what can I do? Because I'm trying to avoid that feeling so deeply that I'm like, I'm going to do 12 other things. I'm going to teach yoga. I'm going to teach astrology. I can run a business. I'm going to have another kid. Like, what can I do to keep my mind so busy that I'm not thinking about that nervousness or that feeling? I'm avoiding it. It's avoidant. And so, and I'm going to talk about the signs and how each sign, a moon sign with a Mercury, because your Mercury is connected directly to like your thoughts and how you think, which we all know is connected to the gut. and the moon, the emotions, how that plays a part, affect it immensely. So I'm going to kind of touch in on those and use myself as an
Yay.
example. I'll use Julie as an example because I know, because your Mercury
You can use
is Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Yeah. And your moon is Libra. I love that combo. Not that it means that you're
I think
stress
I do
free, but
too.
yeah, it's
I
a
am
good, that's a,
not.
no. Well, you're Capricorn, let's be really honest.
Yeah. I said no more hard lessons, and the universe was like, oh, define hard.
No, yeah. No. Definitely not easy, but it is a good flow. It does flow, your moon, your Mercury. There is a logical, very intellectual way about your emotions and your processing that I would say is a really good thing to have in your chart. So
Yeah.
if
Kat says I'm
you,
a diligent processor.
yeah, and you can compartmentalize, and that's great. That's, needed and
I think a
necessary.
healthy way. Yeah.
Yes. So, um, I did want to go through a few things on Mercury because it is so tied to our nervous system and how we think, and our nervous system reacts to those thoughts. And again, with the gut, I want to make sure that we're really aware that the gut and the brain, Mercury is kind of like ruling all those things. But brain activity, neural pathways, it's information processing, it's perception, it's thought patterns. That's something we don't necessarily sometimes think with Mercury, but the things that roll through your head from each experience that you have in your life, if that same instance or same situation were to happen again, you naturally are programmed to think that it's going to repeat how it did the first time. I'll take cheating for an example. If you're cheated on by someone who, say, they go out to a bar at night or at a certain bar, whatever. If you were to date someone else and they were to go and do that same thing, the same bar or the same timing, that can trigger thought patterns that cause like, oh, well, this person did it. You may not think that, and you may be so solid in your trust with this person, but there is something intuitively with your nervous system that it is responding in a way. And whether you pay attention to that or you notice that, it doesn't always happen. You don't realize, oh, I'm feeling this way because this has happened in the past, or I'm feeling this way because I've been in this situation just a little different, or maybe it's a different person or a different state, who knows? But the nervous system, like the body keeps score. I'm sure everyone has heard of the book that your trauma lives in you, and it is a product of your nervous system. So your learning style is very much what Mercury represents, and your stress response and your mental filtering. So Mercury is all of those things. So when you have a Mercury sign and an air sign, a lot of times I think air is one of the hardest ones along with earth because those are two of the less emotional signs. And when it comes to really processing their emotions, air may have to think through it, earth may have to find a practical approach to work through, however they're responding to some situation. I always say, like fire signs, I've noticed the element of fire when when their system is overloaded, their nervous system is really going through it. Movement, like dance and just some sort of movement. Maybe go chop down a tree. I don't know. That was Aries energy. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But something that's going to get your body moving is going to be so crucial for your nervous system because being in action, moving, the movement of the body is really what is going to really help someone with a fire Mercury moon. We're gonna combine the two. Earth, I'm gonna say, would be very much grounding, finding ways in routine. We just talked about my Taurus moon. When my routine is going smoothly and I have a steady routine, it makes me feel safe, it makes me feel comfortable. And I say that my moon is Taurus and my Mercury is Libra. So they're both ruled by Venus. So if you take your moon sign and take your Mercury and you kind of look at maybe some similarities, like mine are very different, but they're ruled by Venus. So an aesthetic, a beautiful aesthetic, something that smells nice. If I need to calm myself, lighting a candle and just sitting and being grounded, but also allowing my thoughts because I am a processor through thought with the Libra Mercury. And so it's like the aesthetic, mixed with allowing my thoughts to go, that really works for me. Breathing, focusing on my breathing, just great things for me personally. But air signs, a lot of times with the Mercury, air signs, they need to process through thought. Maybe it's saying it out loud, even, I find that sometimes just hearing myself say it out loud, I can process it better. I don't know, does that work with you?
Oh gosh, we have like rules and boundaries in our house of like verbal processing as an air sign, and like, okay, just let me say it, and I'm not asking you for the solution, and then it allows me to figure out my own problems. But
Yeah,
I
you're
just
like,
yeah,
oh,
both of us
I
we
mean,
have to say it out loud.
yeah, no, it is amazing what you can work out with yourself just saying it out loud and rehearing it. It's like it comes out and then it goes back in and there's something
Yeah.
mentally
And
after a
sometimes
second.
like my brain works so fast. So like when you actually are forced to slow down to read it, then you're like, oh, my grammar is atrocious.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's so important. And then water signs, when you have a water Mercury and your nervous system is out of whack and maybe even a lot of water in your chart, they're more processors of like feeling, allowing the feeling, letting it go through their body, feeling where it goes. Sometimes I am one of these people, like when I know when I'm anxious or I have a lot going on, I tend to like have my shoulders up and it's literally the Libra
Mhm.
scales holding the weight of all the things that are happening in my world. And so it is I feel so much pressure within my shoulders. And when you really sit with like, there'll be times where I'm like thinking about all these things and I'm like, relax your shoulders, breathe and relax.
Do that right here.
Christ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have to just physically move my body down to where it needs to be so that I'm not so
Hmm.
tense. But water signs, I'm sure the gut, it really triggers emotions there. When your nervous system, they're very connected, you're very aligned with that feeling of knowing the emotions, feeling the emotions, and just processing through feeling, maybe crying. Um, those are just things that are necessary. And then, did I go through earth or did I just do air? Did I say what to do with air? Earth? I think I was getting there. I think I mixed it in with mine, but routine, something consistent. Again, I recommend breath work for all elements. I mean, you have one of them in your Mercury. It's one of the four. So with all of them, I recommend breathing. And then if it's feeling, if it's thought process, speaking it out loud, going and doing something after you do your breath work, grounding, taking a walk. Maybe for you Virgos, create a Excel spreadsheet. Maybe that would give you more anxiety. Maybe it would. Maybe having control of what it equals at the bottom is what you need in that moment to regulate.
Spreadsheets help me
I
a
love a
lot.
spreadsheet. I
Hmm.
love a spreadsheet.
Me too.
So yeah, those are just the elements through the Mercury. And depending on what your moon is, that's going to be a big one because your moon is all things feeling and the how you process it and fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever the responses are. Your moon is heavily connected to that, and so when your processor and your moon are really aligned, it is very helpful to really come to that space of making sense. Everything's going to be okay. Deep breaths. Um, Me being a Libra and having a Libra Mercury makes my Mercury tends to really enjoy when everybody's getting along. And when people aren't getting along and it's tense, I really hate that. I have a coworker or a colleague, she's actually my boss, I shouldn't call her a coworker. My boss, she is also a Libra, but she has a Scorpio Mercury. She doesn't give a fuck what's going on around her. She is in her zone, she is in her little lane, and the whole world could be crumbling and she is chilling. And it's because she's like so tapped into like that depth of it, like focus and not worried. Like, who cares? And then she's also so aware that like whatever their issue is their issue and it's not mine. So
Mm.
kudos
A
to
little
that
more
person.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. And she has a Gemini moon too, so she really doesn't give a fuck. And I'm just like, man, that
Yeah,
must
must
be
be nice.
nice.
I have to
Be
work
nice.
really hard for that one.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. And anytime, someone comes for her or says anything, she's just like, that just tells me everything I need to know. Not upset about it, not taking it personal because she knows it's not her truth. I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, you're someone to admire right now.
Yeah. Cool.
No, seriously. I'm just like, that's pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
those are just
Oh
those are
man.
just elements different. You can see like her sun sign's a Libra, her moon is a Gemini, and her Mercury is a Scorpio. And where Libra you would think would care more, that Gemini and Scorpio really tap in. I mean, she's a Gemini rising too, so
Oh wow.
she's got a lot of Gemini and Scorpio in there. And she's just really
Wow.
chill. So I did make a list here. Did you want to add anything to any of that before I keep
No,
going?
I those are my favorite way to categorize Mercury communication is exactly by element. I think it is
Hmm.
the pretty much encompasses, you don't even have to go down like the specifics. The Mercury elementals is pretty accurate.
Yeah, yeah, no, it definitely hits because they each need different things. One needs action, one needs emotion, one needs thought, and one needs
Mm-hmm.
practicality. And so when you take your nervous system and in one of those signs or elements, that really does tie to how you would need to process. I like movement too. I like the movement of dance, but you think of movement in air, that makes sense too. But it's not aggressive movement. You'll never see me going through it out there chopping down a tree. It's just not going to see that because that's not how I need to do it. It might be like a soft, flowy dance, but again, aesthetic, Libra, Taurus, Venus
Yeah.
energy there.
Yeah.
All right. So here are some of my notes on again, it's through the elements. Um, I'm just going to run through this because this is basically what we talked about, but the way that the brain works for the fire signs, quick, instinctive, jumps ahead, inspired. The stress with the with the fire Mercury, they can be impatient, frustration, and anger. And the regulation note that I put down is movement, exercise, action. So again, we talked about all that. I just wanted to add a little emphasis on it. Emphasis on it.
Head of the game.
Yes. The earth, the brain is organized, practical, detail focused, the things that can cause stress, over responsibility, perfectionism, which is not something I touched on, but God, you earth signs, it does not have to be perfect. Tension in
I
the body, again, they can be very tense. The regulation is going to be routine, nature, and structure. That is what is going to help the nervous system. The Mercury, the air Mercury, the element of air, rapid ideas, connection, social processing, the things that can stress them out, racing thoughts, anxiety loops. So to talk about those loops, because I do that, I'll tend to get in a loop and be like, I gotta
I,
get out of here.
I definitely I catch myself faster than I used to at least.
That's your healing. That means your system is healing.
I'm trying.
And then the regulation, talking, writing, expression. Us earth
Mm.
signs, we like to express. That's probably why we teach a whole astrology. Well, you teach all the things. I just do astrology. But I
I don't
like to
really
yap.
teach anything. I just co-host while you guys teach.
You teach. You know so much. You're so silly. And then the water, the brain, it emotionally processes. Intuition is very big and absorbs environments. So, what can cause stress for the water Mercury's emotional overwhelm and withdrawal? So, those things I tend to see a lot with water signs in
Mm.
general. The regulation for them needs to be quiet time, creativity, and emotional release. Cancers, Pisces, Scorpio, if you feel like it, cry. Just cry. I know it's going to do wonders for you all. Ah, okay. So the next part of this, I was going to go into the moon and the emotional storage regulation that the moon really contributes to our birth chart. And so, as we know, the moon is emotional memory. It's also like, I believe your childhood trauma is definitely stored in your body, and I believe your moon sign is how you navigate through life with that. So, if you had a really easy childhood and a hopefully really, like maybe a really easy childhood with a Cancer moon, it could have been an easy process. It could be that your body's not really holding on to a lot. But if you were to have that same Cancer moon with a really traumatic childhood, oh, there's probably a lot of, well, your body's probably holding on to so many things. Same with Capricorn. Capricorns hold on to things, little grudge monsters, they just can't help it. They're just a little angry sometimes. So, the moon sign is also the comfort needs, the subconscious habits, emotional safety, and the attachment patterns. So, depending on what your moon is and what your Mercury and how your nervous system, Mercury, and moon align, that can be how you really navigate through healing and a productive nervous system. It's important to know what makes you feel safe. Again, that moon sign is really going to have a huge emphasis on what makes you feel safe. Yours is in relationships, healthy relationships. Mine is going to be consistency and not moving around a lot. Having Taurus moon is a little just challenging when you move a lot. And my little Libra Sagittarius mix, I love to be spontaneous and do things, but there's that Taurus moon that's like, hey, I like being home. Like, it's kind of a weird balance that I got going on there. Oh, and I also wanted to go through the body parts of each sign.
Yes. Oh, we were talking about this the other day and I was like getting stuck. So this is perfect.
Yes. No, I mean, so each sign represents a part of the body. And if you think of it in terms of like starting, Aries is the starter sign, Pisces is the end. So think it's starting at the top. So Aries is over the head, Taurus is over the neck and the throat, Gemini is over the lungs, hands, and nervous system. Cancer is the stomach and chest. Leo is the heart and the spine. Virgo is digestion. Libra is kidneys and balance. Scorpio is the reproductive system. Sagittarius are the hips and thighs. Capricorn, bones and knees. How are your knees, Julie?
I was supposed to have replacement surgery when I was like 15.
Oh, dang,
Yeah, that's a real thing. I always
It's a
tell
real
people
thing.
that I'm like, how are your knees? And they're like, ha. But Virgos are the funniest because every time you're like, how's your stomach? And they're like, oh,
Oh, how'd you know? I know, and they never believe because Virgos are a sign
every
they
time.
never believe in
The
astrology.
unbelievers and all of you, find me a Virgo with no tummy issues.
Yep, every single one of them. Aquarius is circulation, and Pisces are the feet and the immune sensitivity. With Pisces, I want to just throw this out there. If you have Pisces, sorry, I'm in this chair again. I'm gonna never sit in this chair in life. So like, wait, cracking over here. If you have Pisces children, rub their feet. They're storing so many emotions down there, and their little feet are like all the nerves at the end connectors, and just rubbing their feet. I promise you, I have one. I have a Pisces Sun, Cancer, Moon, and rubbing her belly or her feet, she is obsessed, and it really does wonders. So, I mean, probably any kid would love their feet rubbed, but Pisces in particular. Or if your significant other is a Pisces, anyone that you know that's a Pisces, just try to rub their feet. Maybe not your boss, that could be weird, but let me solve all your problems by rubbing your feet.
Definitely. Get a
Uh,
promotion.
yeah, you never know. It could go their way.
It could go many ways.
But Pisces are kind of weird, so they probably would be into it. They'd be like, "Oh,
They're definitely. I've never met a normal one.
no, no." And you know what? I love Salem to death. She's my Pisces. She's doing ballet and she's so cute. But I wish I would have recorded it. But she's in a class of like 7 girls, and they're all doing their dance and their funny little things. And she's just doing this the whole time. She didn't move. She just stood there like, what am I doing here? Why are people watching me? And we haven't done the recital yet. This was just watch week for the parents. And every little girl is doing the dance and they're excited and they're yelling. And Salem is just odd. She's just being weird.
She's just odd.
No movement, no laughter. She looks like
She's like Wednesday Addams.
Seriously, I swear to God, blonde Wednesday. That's a perfect example because she's just like, the fuck am I doing here? Like, I wish I would have recorded it. But I was FaceTiming
Oh my
Sage because he
god.
was out of town, so he could see it, and I would have recorded it, and
Oh
you
my
would have just
gosh.
seen her.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
oh my God, it was funny. It was something. Okay, stress patterns by modality. So we love to, this again aligns with your Mercury, but Cardinal, pressure to act, feeling responsible. That can be the stress. A lot of times they take on a lot of responsibility. And again, they're about movement, taking action. This can sometimes lead to being controlling or overwhelmed, and they need to prioritize that they are only in control of them. Have you ever noticed that fire signs like to try to take charge? It's not control. I don't like the word control. It's not good trying to control. They want to take charge because they think they can do the best job. And 9 times out of 10, they can. I'm not taking that away from them. But sometimes you just have to say, it's going to be okay. This is not what
Yeah.
you need to be in control of right now or in charge of. Let someone else do it because they get so worked up over it. It can be a thing.
My mom's an Aries.
You're like, this tracks with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my mother is a Scorpio, so
Oh,
she
I'm sorry.
with a Gemini moon. I know I've said that before, but it's a hot
Wait,
mess. But
it doesn't take away the heaviness of the
and a Cancer rising, I'm pretty sure.
oh no,
She's
no.
such a hot mess.
That's
Yeah,
way too much.
she's intense. We could go on
Mm.
about her all day. My nervous system is triggered just talking about her.
Yeah.
It's like, no, 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 no. All right, the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. They are resistant to change. A lot of times, the nervous system gets a little out of whack for these signs when change is happening. They don't like change, they like consistency. Um, it's just part of their nature be to enjoy the constant whatever flow of life that works for them. This can cause them to be emotionally rigid, and the thing that will help them overcome this would be movement and flexibility. I think that it's important for fixed signs to practice flexibility in subtle ways to prepare themselves for big things. My daughter is a Taurus sun, Aquarius moon, Leo rising. She does not like change. Oh, she's a feisty little sassy girl,
Yeah.
but she does not like when shit changes. Like moving to college, oh, that was hard for her. She was like, I don't want, like her. She wanted to just dig her hands in the ground and stay. But it's practicing those little changes or putting yourself in situations where it's a little different each time is going to be
Hmm.
key for you.
Yeah.
Mutable signs Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Too much information sometimes can cause a nervous system for these particular signs. They take in a lot, they're mutable, they're moving, they're flowy, but they tend to absorb a lot of information. Not like, water signs that absorb emotional things. They're absorbing a lot of intellect, a lot of things that not things, a lot of information that just can overstimulate, causing the nervous system to kind of go in overdrive. Can make them feel scattered and a little anxious. One of the things that can help with this, if you find yourself with one of these and that actually really tracks, is simplicity of things. Make things simple. Like a lot of times as human beings, I don't know why we want to overcomplicate everything. I'm not sure what that's about, but it's like if something is easy or simple, it feels like it's not right. Learning to accept that
Hmm.
sometimes things can be simple, probably going to be your best
Hmm.
bet for a neutral nervous system. All right. So, just to emphasize, our astrology chart is a full on map of our energy flow within us. When you look at your birth chart, It's not you're this or you're that. It's the flow of energies that are just processing and flowing through your body. And so when you look at your Mercury sign, your moon sign, I like to throw rising in there too occasionally because that has a huge emphasis on, you know, who you are. I think it's internal to the core who you are. I know you'll read it's just how people perceive you or how you see the world, but I think that just studying a few different types of astrology, I've really found that the ascendant is what, to your core, what's going on internally in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take your, again, your Mercury, your moon, and your rising, and you kind of put those together and just sit with what each energy is. Let's say we'll use my chart because I know it the best. I am a Sagittarius rising with a Taurus moon and a Libra Mercury. It's like, okay, I use the moon and the Mercury energy, very different. Libra and Taurus are very different, but they are both ruled by Venus. And then you take my ascendant, which is Sagittarius, and I'm like, how would I incorporate that into my nervous system and my whole regulation of how I would do some calming? I said the candle and the aesthetic and all of that, but then you throw in this Sagittarius element that maybe needs things a little more fun, a little more light. Maybe there's a fun like song in the background that I can also like kind of move to and dance to. I'm just saying if you take the elements and you take your signs and even throw in like maybe some house energy in there, like if your, say your moon and your Mercury are in the first house, and let's just say they're in the same sign. Let's say that your moon and your Mercury are both in Libra. They're both in Libra, they're in the first house. What would you say is something that you would think would be a good way to like zen yourself out, knowing that information?
Your Libra and your Mercury are both in Libra. Is that what you said?
And they're the moon and Mercury both in Libra in the first house.
First house. Aye. And then what was the how do you know what was the last part?
Like, what would you do to like, what do you think this would be a good calming nervous system regulator for that placement?
Oh, this is such a good question. I love it.
You think of the first house as self, image.
It is. I kind of want to say talk therapy
Talk therapy, that's a good one. That is a really good,
because it's
you
like your
know,
ego.
yes. And you know, Libras love to talk about themselves and their moon. It really feels at peace with like relationships. I was going to say for that placement, some really beautiful aesthetics around you while putting makeup on in a mirror and feeling really good about yourself because that first house energy is going to be, you know, self and image and how you feel about yourself. And so that is something that just that sign could do. Now take that same placement. You have the Mercury, let's just keep it easy, Mercury moon and a uh, Mercury moon, Mercury in Libra and your moon in Libra in say something like the seventh house. It would be probably close to the same thing, but maybe with a friend, like doing each other's makeup and doing each other's because you're bringing in that partnership. It's like bringing someone on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give examples so that when you look at your chart, you can say, oh, well, my Mercury is in the, where is my Mercury in my chart now that I'm saying this?
I just went to
10th
go look
house.
at
10th house. Mine's in the 10th house. So I'm like, wait, Libra rules my 10th house. So for me, my Libra Mercury is in the 10th house and my Taurus moon is in the 5th house. The 5th house is fun. 10th house is work, career. So having a job that is fun and aesthetically pleasing, because Libra likes aesthetically pleasing, and so does Taurus because they're both ruled by Venus, is so important to me. I could never work in a meat factory. I could never work in an IRS building. I could never work anywhere that is not aesthetically pleasing. Like, absolutely not. If I don't have a nice office, I'm out. I am out. A salon.
Your pictures are so good lately, by the way. Like
Oh, thank you.
they're so good. I was like, damn girl, okay, that's my friend.
Thank you. But yes, that's what I'm saying. You've seen in the background, I need an aesthetically pleasing background or it will not work. So just taking those little things. I think if I worked somewhere that I didn't love the aesthetic, I think my nervous system would be completely triggered. I wouldn't be able to process. I wouldn't be able to do the most amazing job that I could do because I feel and people that, okay, I hope that no one is watching this actually works at the IRS. But I went into an office the other day and there were no windows and the lady was just talking to me and I was like, you guys don't have any windows in your offices? She was like, no. I was like, does that not make you sad? And she was like, I don't care. I don't look out the window anyways. And I'm just like, and they don't let you put pictures on the wall? I'm literally over here like asking her 1,000 questions about her office and she was like, please just shut up so I can get used to this.
Please leave me alone.
I could never. So if you can do that, look at you probably have some placements in there that are fine with that and you're okay with that. You go for a paycheck and that's it. You're out. And for me, those are things I need. So
Same. I mean, I have windows at my office. They're of the sky, but when people close them, I'm sad because
yeah, no,
that's my whole aesthetic.
Yes, no, hold on one second. Sorry, I had a call.
You're good.
That I kind of need to take, but I will just let her know. I'll call her right back. Sorry. Derailed. But yeah, so looking at your Mercury, where it's placed, looking at your moon, where that's placed, that's how you can kind of connect those, just as I did, my moon, my Mercury, where it's located, throwing my ascendant and Sagittarius in there. I like a little spontaneous. I don't like a super routine day. I like a routine. I like to know where I'm going, but I like to kind of have that fluctuation of like, oh, today I'm doing this, and Friday I have to do this. Oh, and I've got to go to 7 different places to sell, and then I'm doing, spreadsheets. So it's a mix of all the things I love, and I have my consistency, but I also have a freedom for my Sagittarius energy to kind of flow in there as well. So it's a good little chart.
Yeah, I like it.
So hopefully everybody can look at where your stuff is, take deep breaths, do yoga, stretch every morning. If you are over 30 and you're not stretching every morning, God, like you have to breathe and stretch your body, move your body, pay attention to where you feel what. When something feels stressful, where are you feeling that in your body? Because that will tell you so much about how you're holding things, and your body keeps score. So just remember that.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, this was a cool one. It's so interesting. Yeah, especially as we're always like on time for different things, but we're on the 3rd week of the root chakra. So yeah, it kind of flows right in here.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Well, if anyone has any questions, let me know. That's all I had for today for the class, and I'm just so grateful to be here, and I think everyone is amazing, and I love all the feedback and all the things that you guys have been giving us. So
yeah, me too. And soon we're gonna be back here with free giveaways. That'll make things a little free giveaways.
Ooh, fun.
I know. It's going to be very exciting.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I don't see any questions for now. So thank you, Elle, and thank you for anyone who's live and those that are watching later, and we will see you guys soon.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We bridge the gap between what the world often keeps separate, logic and light, and spirit and science. We welcome everyone to come as you are and invite you to become the hero you want to become through educational tools and community connection. We offer tools, teachings, and community to help you remember who you are, This includes live shows, workshops, nutrition and wellness, and exclusive member perks. Logic leads us, light guides us, community connects us. Check out our TV Digest channel guide on All TV. Catch your favorite show, live stream, or find a new favorite show to add to your notifications. We are always adding new standalone episodes and series. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Find us online on our website and all major social media platforms at Academy of Logic and Light. Click the link in bio to join our community. We hope to see you again soon, either here or on your hero's journey.